In my opinion, I would say that's one of the biggest pro debuts ever. You know, Madison Square Garden in a pro debut. Um, that was just amazing. I'm very lucky that here in Ireland, the government fund the amateur boxing and they bring in funding for boxers. So you were being paid as an amateur fighter by the government, which I think is the way it should be. I think everything I done in Rio opened a lot of people's eyes. When I flipped the bird and I talked on TV and I says about how it was corrupt and how it was corrupt right to the core, from the very top right down to the core. And I'm not the kind of guy who likes to run about talking shit or running my mouth, because I don't. It's just disrespect, and I'm not a person who disrespects people. So in the ring, though, yes, I respect my opponents, but once the bell goes, there is no respect until the bell finishes.
Michael, it's always a pleasure to have a conversation with you, my friend. I send you a big hug. Where you are now?
I'm back home in Ireland, Ernesto, and as you say, it's always a pleasure to talk to you as well. It's been a bit of time since the last time, so it's great to see you, and I'm happy to see you're healthy.
Definitely. I hope the family is doing good during this pandemic. I send you my best wishes always.
Thank you, and to you.
Let me ask you this, because the other day I was having a conversation with a lot of boxers, and they told me, and they surprised me, because they mentioned, hey, Ernesto, my life didn't change a lot, because as a boxer, I'm always training, I'm always in camp, and I'm always focused. So the life is mostly the same.
Yeah, that's it. I'm still secluded from the outside world, like I am when I'm in training camp. When I'm in training camp, it is just you're there, you're training, you're home, you're training every day. So now for me, it's got a lot better, because I'm always away. I'm always training in England, so I'm back home in Ireland and I'm with my family, which is very rare, because I fight so often, and I'm away for 12 weeks each time. So I'm at home with my family, which is good, and I'm much more happy. So I'm good at the minute.
Yeah. I always mention to the people who ask me about Michael Conlan, I definitely believe that you, sooner or later, you're going to be a champion of the world. But the thing in you and your family is that you have dignity, you respect yourself, and I mean, you are a very respectful guy. But like in boxing, don't touch my balls, right?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. You have to be respectful, and I was brought up with that in my head, that kind of mantra where you have to respect others and show respect always. So I'm not the kind of guy who likes to run about talking shit or running my mouth, because I don't. It's just disrespect, and I'm not a person who disrespects people. So in the ring, though, yes, I respect my opponents, but once the bell goes, there is no respect until the bell finishes.
Definitely. The other day, I heard that Nacho Beristain, one of the legendary boxing trainers in Mexico, mentioned this. The amateur boxing, the Olympic boxing in Mexico, is never happened again. It's sadly to mention. But you have a very sad and disgusting story with these guys in amateur boxing, right? So what are you willing to do in order to open the eyes of the people around the amateur boxing?
I think everything I done in Rio opened a lot of people's eyes. When I flipped the bird and I talked on TV and I says about how it was corrupt and how it was corrupt right to the core, from the very top right down to the core. And it's not good, but it seems to be starting to get better since the last Olympics. I think when I came out and spoke, and the Olympic Council had kicked AIBA, who is the governing body of boxing, out of the Olympic Games. It shows that they were willing to make this kind of sacrifices and the changes to try to make the Olympic boxing much better. But I think I've said all I can on that when I spoke out, and I just hope that amateur boxing can grow again and become better, because for me as a young boy, my dream was to become an Olympic champion, and that was taken away from me. But I know a lot of other young kids who have that dream, and I still hope they are able to go and achieve it.
Let me share this with you, because I know you respect Mexican boxing. you know how the Mexican food is because of Manny, Estrellita, and all those good memories. But in Mexico, some fighters needs to go out to the streets and ask to the people for some coins, for some money, in order to represent the country, in order to travel. These, sorry for this word, but these fuckers are stealing the dreams of these young kids.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, I'm very lucky that here in Ireland, the government fund the amateur boxing and they bring in funding for boxers. So you were being paid as an amateur fighter by the government, which I think is the way it should be. And I think knowing Mexican boxing, how good Mexican fighters are, if the government invested in their young fighters from the amateurs, they would become Olympic champions, yes, but they would also make even better professionals than what they already are. And if you can imagine that, look how good Mexican boxing would be. How it's already so high, it could get even higher.
Definitely. Finally, before we leave this amateur stuff, you remember, of course, the Mayweather story, almost the same with you. And he take this like a goal, like a challenge, like a motivation. In your case, it's the same, because I can see that you are ready to show to the world that they were wrong.
Yeah, 100%. This is my motivation. I've beaten the guy who got the decision, but that's not what it's about. I know how good I am. I knew I should have been an Olympic champion, and I know the talent I have. So, and the skills that I have, and I just can't wait to show it. I'm ready now. I want anybody and everybody. So I'm really excited about whatever is next.
Michael, I remember one of my best memories in boxing when you have your pro debut down there in the Madison Square Garden. That's why I send you through WhatsApp a video. I want you to watch the video, and after the video, tell me how is it feeling, the memories, share something with us. Please watch the video.
Michael Conlan, ahí está, también de Notorious McGregor en el cuadrilátero. Michael Buffer también acompañando a otra voz espectacular que es Lupe Contreras. Tenemos una noche de manteles no largos, de manteles larguísimos. Yo recuerdo muy pocas ocasiones.
I don't show it, but actually I'm very nervous at this part. I'm like, I gotta win. I gotta win. There's too much people here. I gotta win.
Yeah.
Like, you would not think this is a pro debut. You'd think this is a world title fight. It's that kind of atmosphere.
Yeah.
Michael Buffer
Michael Buffer had debut.
McGregor, crowded arena.
Vamos a escuchar a Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the most famous venue in the world for sports and entertainment, Madison Square Garden, New York.
What do you think about it, Michael? Because Michael Buffer, McGregor, it was. Let me share this with you.
Yeah.
I did the blow-by-blow, play-by-play, even of the biggest stars. But this moment, it was so different for me because the people are waiting literally all over the world to watch your pro debut.
I know it was crazy. Just watching that back, it's giving me kind of shivers on my spine. Wow, that's giving me a lot of energy here. That was amazing. That was just an unbelievable memory, and it's something like when I look back now, it's you got to pinch yourself because Michael Buffer, as you say, McGregor, a sold out arena for a guy fighting 6 rounds in his pro debut. People flying in from all over the world. It was kind of history, and like that's probably in my opinion, I would say that's one of the biggest pro debuts ever. Madison Square Garden in pro debut. That was just amazing, and a lot of pressure, an awful lot of pressure. And when I look back on the performance, I think I rushed a lot of things. I didn't do a lot of things correctly. I was just trying to get the fight finished, and that was because of the pressure and the people. The most people there. I just wanted to finish the fight so I could celebrate and go, look, we done it. So, what an amazing memory.
Let me share this with you. I don't know if you realize that the very next day, Triple G and Jacobs have a fight in the same place. But some press, and I'm serious with this, they are more interested in your debut during Jacob's Triple G fight. I don't know. I mean, St. Patrick Day, a lot of elements. What is the meaning for you that the people in some part put more attention in your pro debut?
Listen, I was honored and grateful. People obviously kind of felt that what happened in the Olympics was very close to their heart. And they wanted to come and see the guy from the Olympics do the job and get on the world title trail and just say F you to all these guys who screwed him over. So, it was special. I went to the Triple G fight the next night, and that was very close. Chocolatito too. He lost, didn't he? So, that was a crazy night of boxing. But I think the atmosphere at my own fight was much better.
Yeah. Share please with the people of No Puedes Jugar Boxeo and with me too something funny with Manny Robles or Estrellita, because I remember my friends, really close friends, were with you. Something funny that you can share with these beautiful guys.
Oh, every time I went to the gym, we always had fun, but they would come in and they would start saying like Irish slang sayings and stuff like "what's the crack" and stuff, but with a Mexican accent. So every time I went in, I just couldn't stop laughing, and it was great. Me and Manny, we had a great. Me, Manny, and Estrellita had a great year. Me and Manny, but obviously went to Australia and boxed on Manny Pacquiao undercard, and
Yeah,
he's always going to be a close friend and someone close to my heart. He really, everybody over there, Oscar, all the guys in the gym, they're all very close to my heart. Obviously, I left for family reasons when my wife was pregnant again. So I probably would still be there if that wasn't the case. Manny is just, he's such a great guy and a family friend now. So, a friend for life. So I'm very honored to work with him.
Nice. Now, talking about future, but maybe it's present now. I always remember the rivalry between Mexico and Puerto Rico, but it happens that now it looks like the big rivalry in boxing world is going to be United Kingdom and Mexico. I don't know if you see the same.
Who have we got? Who is the two facing each other there in the Mexico and the United Kingdom? You're thinking Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz?
Yeah, maybe Canelo with Callum Smith, Canelo Saunders. A lot of names, and maybe it could be a great sports, right? Rivalry.
Yeah, that would be good. And at the same time, they all box in the zone, so they all could box in the same card.
Yeah.
That would be something. That would be spectacular. I think, Andy Ruiz, when he beat Joshua, I was there, and, I didn't care who won. I kind of wanted Andy to win because Manny was coaching him, and I was like, Manny's my guy, so I obviously want Andy to win.
Yeah.
So I was there, and I was in the crowd, and I was in the crowd with all Joshua fans, and as soon as Andy got them down, I jumped up, yes, and all the Irish, all my people, because they were there to watch Katie Taylor. They were all going crazy for Mexico. Obviously, we have a bond. Irish and Mexicans are very close, so. Everybody went crazy. So I think he lost that motivation. Obviously, he made a lot of money and kind of didn't train right for a second fight. But if he had a train right, who knows? He could be still champion of the world, heavyweight champion.
Definitely.
Canelo and Saunders and Smith is really interesting. But Billy Joe Saunders has the ability to beat any of the big guys. His boxing ability is spectacular. Canelo is he's the best boxer in boxing, really, the biggest name, and he's always going to be hard to beat for anyone. So that's an interesting one. I think Callum Smith might be more dangerous than Saunders though, because he's big, he can punch. I don't know. It's an interesting clash. I favor Canelo in both of those matchups, but there's something there that these guys can, they can win.
Definitely. Now let's talk about Bob Arum, because Bob Arum, it's so smart. He's a guy in boxing, definitely, right? The other day he mentioned that Canelo never have to fight again against Triple G. because all the trash that they talk, whatever. And if in Bob Adams said, it doesn't matter about money, it doesn't matter about nothing. Canelo don't have to fight again. Triple G, never. What is your opinion? Because Bob Adams is so straight, you know. He mentioned the things like they feel.
Yeah, well, the both fights were close. I kind of give the first one the Triple G, if I'm honest, but the second one the Canelo definitely. But he's got the 2 victories. He actually doesn't need to fade him, and I don't think many people would be. Some people will be upset, but not everybody, you know. And at the end of the day, if you look at Floyd Mayweather, you know, he wasn't going and fighting people 3 times. He just, you know, he was the smartest guy in boxing, as they say. So, you know, he got the big fights and picked the fights at the right times and made the money. So, Canelo, if he really wants to be smart and he really wants to kind of get that generational wealth, he just needs to be smart and pick his fights now, because he's already made the name. He's already the global mega superstar and down in history of boxing. So what's the point of going and fighting Triple G again? In my opinion, next time they box, he beats Triple G much more convincingly just because of age. I think Triple G is kind of on the slide and hasn't looked as good since before he even fought Kell Brook. So since he beat Jacobs, I didn't think he looked good since then. So, you know, I think, you know, Canelo, if he does box him again, he'll be more convincing.
Definitely. Now let's take a look of the 126 pounds, because I truly believe that you're gonna have this title short very soon, because I'm checking the rankings. You're number 1 in World Boxing Organization. You are in IBF, even NBA. So no NBA, sorry. WBA, not basketball, WBA, and of course, World Boxing Council. The names Gary Russell, Leo Santa Cruz, Josh Warrington, which is a great fighter, and Shakur Stevenson, but I believe he's gonna leave 126. So, what is your map in this weight class division?
Well, I think, you know, we were supposed to box in St. Patrick's Day before everything was cancelled.
Yeah,
and that would have been kind of against the Colombian, I think. And then it was a talk that this summer would have been for a world title. Whether it was WBO, WA, I was unsure, but I knew that, you know, that was the kind of roadmap. So the virus and this pandemic has kind of put a little bit of, you know, time, you know, on hold. But, you know, I believe in the next 2 fights, I'll be boxing for a world title. Whether it's WBA, WBO, I'm unsure, but, you know, I do believe I'll be world champion. Whoever it is, whatever champion, it doesn't matter. I'll be happy to face them, and I know when my time is right, whoever is in front of me, I will be victorious.
Definitely. I don't know if you realize this, but in Mexico, we love beer, we love soccer, we love boxing, we love girls. Sorry to mention.
Are you talking about Ireland or Mexico?
Yeah, that's the question, right? We are very similar. In Belfast, it's a land of warriors. Mexico too. So we are really close in the taste.
Yeah. Listen, Mexicans and Irish, there's very, very close connections there, and how we are as people, how we are as humans, and how the kind of our personalities and attitudes are towards life is very similar, I believe. A lot of people from Mexico are working class, and most people from Ireland are working class. So we have that working class mentality where, you know, we're ready to go to war with anybody, and we'll work hard to get it.
Yeah, let me share this with you. This is Mexican, and you're gonna love it. In Mexico, we say, cuando dices algo con la boca, when you say something with your mouth, tienes que sostenerlo. You need to hold with your balls. So, you know what I mean? This is a Mexican style, and it's of course Irish style.
That's just like me. I don't need to talk with my mouth. I just say it in the ring, and if someone talks, they're gonna have to answer in the ring. So, you know, it's no problem.
Definitely. Finally, my friend, soccer. Your team. What is your team in soccer?
My team in soccer is Manchester City.
Hey, you have a good taste.
Yeah. I've supported them since I was a boy. But when they were bad, I supported them when they were bad. And I only supported them because when I was younger, I kind of supported a few teams, but it was always the team that was winning the league. And then I was getting told that you're a glory hunter, and I says, what are you talking about? I support Manchester City, they're first division, they're not even good. So then they started to get good, and everybody said I'm a glory hunter. But I was like, I supported them when they were shit. So it's fair. We kind of got our turn now.
Definitely. About music, what is your taste in music? What do you prefer?
Yeah, I like all sorts of music. I'm very much into kind of UK music at the minute. But I love the Gypsy Kings, the Eagles.
Nice.
A little bit of mixture of everything.
Movies, series.
Series. I like Gomorrah. Have you ever watched it?
Which one?
Gomorrah.
Not yet.
It's an Italian one about the Gomorrah mafia.
My wife invited me, and
Yeah.
he mentioned it's great. I'm waiting to finish another one.
It's the best series I've ever watched.
Oh, that's a good advice.
I've watched Breaking Bad. I've watched The Wire. I've watched Sopranos. The Gomorrah is the best.
Let me recommend you the Blacklist. It's a long program, but you're gonna love it. Blacklist.
Blacklist.
And we need to celebrate together the good things that are happening to Jamie Conlan, the Mexicanito, because now he's doing great decision, great business. So share something about your brother, please.
Yeah, well, listen, he was the Mexican in the ring, wasn't he? So he was a tough fighter, always kind of on wars, and he had the boxing ability to kind of outbox people, but he had that kind of Mexican style attitude where he was like, no, fuck this, we're going to war.
Yeah.
And now he's obviously landed on his feet. He's kind of built his way up through MTK, and now he's vice president. So yeah, I'm very, very happy the position he's in. He looks after me. He's my personal manager and does everything. So he's a very smart guy. He knows boxing inside and out, and has seen the good side and seen the bad side. So he's got a lot of the kind of education for it, the business side of it anyway. And he's doing really well. So I'm really happy for him.
Well, Michael, it's always a pleasure. I respect you. You are one of my favorite people because you know that I have a lot of good memories. Actually, the last time that I saw you, you were running, and I was running too there in Santa Monica.
Yeah, down Santa Monica. I seen. I was actually, when you called me today, and I was in the car with my wife. I said to her, the last time I seen Ernesto was running down Venice Beach. I was running down, he was running up. So yeah, it was that was the last time I had to cut some weight.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be with you in your world title shot, definitely. So thanks again, Michael. You're always a gentleman, and I hope you like the surprise that I prepared for you. Your preview.
Thank you. I love the Ernesto. Thank you, and it's always a pleasure. And I wish you health and happiness, and be safe throughout this pandemic. So take care, my friend.
The best for you too. Thank you. I hope to see you soon. Take care.
Si te gustó nuestro contenido, suscríbete a nuestro canal de YouTube. Y si no te gustó, también. No puedes jugar boxeo.